as I walk through life, just like every one of us, it dawns on me how powerful first, because you get to do great stuff, and beautiful it feels to build the right team. But you got the right guys amongst you, surrounded by them. Hello, I'm Timothy, and welcome to the Timothy Bamiro Pod, where I share ideas, concepts, and divergent thoughts on how to be a true creator and thrive. On today's episode, I will be talking about the foremost ingredient to building the right team. Every time as I run along, as I walk through life, just like every one of us, it dawns on me how powerful first, because you get to do great stuff, and beautiful it feels to build the right team. But you got the right guys amongst you, surrounded by them.
When I was in school, my university, one of my most salient thoughts was
Imagining that I was with 5 to 7 people in a room, just coming up with crazy, cool ideas, just random, and it was the most beautiful thought. I have done that with people in rooms, and it's a thought that stays in my mind always. Now it's more fleshed out, but you must see how joyful it is that whether we start in an office or it's on a dining table, it is joy when you're with the right team. And come on, all of us did our lessons on the dining table, so. But it's something I erroneously thought was primary to building the right team, and it's what I want to flesh out today. I've always thought that skill was the most important thing to building the right team. That what we got to do is ask if someone has a skill. I have no denial about what skill is. Skill is ability, skill is capacity, skill is capability, it's deftness, it's something. But I need you to see through a different lens. You've got to see through a different lens. It's just walk with me through this lens. So let me explain what skill is. Skill primarily is interpretation. Skill is language. And this is how you must understand it. Skill is interpretation of imagination. Meaning we've got something in our minds. And what skill does for us is to interpret the concept in our minds and bring it to bear. Now, I know how that is probably very divergent from your thoughts. Think of it this way. Every skill that we have and that we've built and we offer is always driving some imagination and bringing some imagination to bear in reality. Whether we realize this or not, our skill sets birth imaginations. The only difference is if you're not privy to the imagination your skill set is birthing. Being in companies, work, corporate institutions, and I watch HR teams, corporate people, I watch leaders ask the wrong question. What skills do you have? I think with all of my being, I think that's the wrongest question we've asked for 50 plus years or more. We don't get the right list of people in the right organizations if that's the question we ask. I don't believe right answers are as important as the right questions, because you miss the question, the answer is wrong. And so our CVs, the right answers to wrong questions. I think the right question is asking, what do you imagine? And how do you interpret your imagination? So all of our skills is just interpretations. And in asking someone what they imagine, we are able to understand how they fit into our company. And I need you to see this. Every time as a founder, as a leader, as a creative, every time we come up with an idea, it's a piece of a puzzle. Teams that we build are people with other pieces that will fit into the puzzle you've come up with. And understand this more. When a company scales, it's more pieces because you scale, the puzzle is bigger, so you need more pieces to fill up the spaces that are existing in the company. Now, this has to be the greatest pain I have ever felt, corporate-wise, is when you get a great piece that doesn't fit into the puzzle. So our entire concern, it's not about whether we get great pieces or not. It's whether we get pieces that fit into the puzzle, and how we get the right puzzle or the right fit with pieces and puzzle is if we understand the imagination or the story that plays in the minds of talents and companies. Our error in employment across organizations is that we've not understood how to ask the right questions. Simple shift that we've got to do is to reframe our questions from skill-based questions to imagination-based questions. For companies to thrive, they've got to find the right people fitting with the imagination they already carry. And you understand the story that plays in the minds of talents. It's such a powerful thing. It would change the game for us in the corporate world, on the business space, because we won't just be building things that are fickle. It becomes so amazing because you have the right people on your team. And I would say this, the most powerful reason we should ask these questions is because even in such a broken economy, or especially in a broken economy, imagination does something for us. And asking people their imaginations gets them to think deeply. Most importantly, is that imagination imbues us with hope and with faith. There's something that every economy needs. Every economy. I really think that if we shift our minds and shift from our skill-based questions to imagination, we change the game of what happens to us in this nation. Slowly, maybe. Nation and continent, slowly, maybe, but definitely. Definitely. I'm tempted to overshoot and then talk about skill set and how skill is an interpretation of imagination and how we use our skills to interpret imagination. But I'll leave that for the next episode. But I'm going to give you a thought for you to mull over. And this is the thought. Skill is nothing but language.